Hi, everyone. Welcome to your weekly tip from your Dance Teacher Potential channel. Thank you for being here. We are coming to you today with um, tools and tips on how to get back the attention from your classroom. So you're having a fantastic day, and all of a sudden, they are going crazy, running around or screaming, and they are not listening. And no matter what you do, it's just not happening. And so we have a few things that we do that will help you gather their attention, get their attention right away. So there's a few rules almost. It's like if they're being really loud, the louder you get, the louder they'll get. And so sometimes, instead of getting louder, you just get really, really, really quiet and almost start whispering up until they all realize you are not screaming or being really loud. And they're like, what happened? Oh. And they need to hear exactly what you're saying. You gotta go. And then so you get their attention like that. Sometimes they are being very loud. So you can start a clapping game when they start following you. And so you teach these things to them, right? Little tools where they're like, okay. And it doesn't happen. And so the first times that you do this might not work, or you have to teach them what you're doing, but it's a switch in gears, right? And switch in the dynamic. That's what we want to do when we are losing their attention most of the times. Sometimes I like to switch the music if I feel like there is something going on with the group that day, then I'll go and find something completely different in the music and play it for a second. And so to try to like reset their brains a little bit and come back to give me some attention, or all their attention, not some attention.
Yeah, I think exactly what you said, redirecting their attention, having something set so that they know that means to join along, whether it's clapping or, sometimes I'll count backwards from 5, but add a clap in between, like 5, 4, and then they all start to clap with me. And then it just like becomes a full class moment. And then their attention switches. I think it's really important to also try as best as you can to not use the word don't, like don't run, don't jump, don't touch them, don't do that. Because, mostly what they're going to hear is the last little section that you said, don't run. They're going to hear run, and so it's not going to work the way you want it to. And I know it's like in the moment you're like, don't do this, but it's going to make it worse. And then it's going to become like a game for them, like they're running away, you're trying to chase them, and then it's fun, and then you've just like lost complete control. Then it's harder to gather their attention back.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you are so right on using your words wisely when you are trying to gather their attention. Another really good thing you do is with your words, you make something up. So let's say they are not working well in one exercise, and it's not necessarily that they're being rowdy, it's just that their energy or their focus is like not where it needs to be. And so I'll start the next exercise and I just make up, I'm like, who's gonna be a shark and who's gonna be a duck? And they're like, they don't know what's happening. And granted, I just made that up, and it probably has to do with the exercise that I'm going to do, but only by bringing that attention back to them. So last night I have some 7-year-olds, and bar can be, long focused work for them. And I really wanted them to work on tendus. And I know at their age also, we use a lot of painting, right? Like we paint this, we paint that, and so I wanted to use that, but then I kept thinking through my words, and I know that at that age they like to use those magic pens that you write and you can't see what you're writing unless you put the light on them. And so I'm like, and then it's going to be the magic. Just put the magic paint on your feet, and they were going to be tendus. And I said, I'm going to go with my magic light to see if I actually see your lines on the floor. And so just that little bit of change in their brain, that is not just a tendu and the effort that you're doing with your body, but that you're bringing their imagination, and that is going to into their bodies, that brings back their attention, is
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
capturing their attention with what you're doing in the classroom so that you keep them engaged the whole time. Yeah.
I think that's 100% right, because if you can tap into, like what's trending for them and at that age, and sort of bring that to life in the classroom, they'll get excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I know last week in our tip, we talked about the 5 magic minutes. That's the same exact thing. If you've had like a really long class, it's just like that switch of attention.
Yep. Yep.
And
Absolutely.
maybe it's because sometimes it's hard as adults to, rewire our brain and think that way. But I think if you're able to like stop and check in with yourself and say, is what I'm about to say useful and going to benefit the class in a productive way? Or is it just going to create chaos and not click with the kids? You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yes, and also at that age, they follow and mimic a lot. And so
Yeah.
using your words wisely, because you shouldn't be talking a lot to them, right? Because a lot of words don't mean so much to them. And so
Yeah.
picking when are you speaking, what are you saying, um, so that you can keep the class excited, more than anything exciting, and them engaged throughout the 45 or 60 minutes that you're running your class. Yeah, and using your body, sometimes, right? Also, if the class is doing something else and then you get really big to show something, you
Mm-hmm.
capture their attention the same way. Yeah.
Yep. I think that's all we have time for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. We post every week, so make sure you like and subscribe to see more from us. We're here to help you. If you want to see us talk about something, we'd love to do it. Make sure to leave a comment below and let us know. Um, we have a teacher training course that will link in our bio. Everything will be there. We also have 63 exercise flashcards, which you could actually use for your whole year, for your class, and mix and match and just create a whole class based off of that, which is really cool and fun and exciting. Yeah, and I think that's it.
Awesome.
See you
Yeah.
next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.